What is going on YouTube? RKS here, back with a brand new video for you guys yet again today. Now it's been a little bit of a break between videos. I think it's been about 5 days and I really apologize for that, but I've just been really grinding Destiny. I've been playing raids, been playing trials, and it wasn't much for me to record in that time, so I've just been caught up and playing this Destiny 2 game. I know it is very similar to Destiny 1. I know you heard it all over social media and everyone's just saying it's a reskin. It is pretty much, and I think it is pretty much this Destiny 1, but I still enjoy playing Destiny as a whole. I love the PvE side, but today's video is going to be about the PvP side. I'm going to say 5 things I think they should implement to improve Destiny's PvP Crucible side, because I think that is the side of this game that needs the most improvement. Everything else about this game is good, and it can have slight improvements and just improve it and make it a lot better, but the PvP side of things needs a lot more focus. There's too many inconsistencies, there's too many unbalanced stuff that it's just not playable as an esports in the future. And if this game wants to go down that path of esports and have an esports avenue to this game, I think they need to make some improvements, and they definitely need to keep up to date with everything to do with PvP. It can be enjoyable at times, but there are so many things in this game and make it not enjoyable. But let's get straight into the 5 things I think they need to implement to improve this game. As you're seeing, I'm doing a live commentary while doing this, so I'm going to be playing while trying to get these 5 points across, so just don't criticize me if I get distracted at certain points. But let's start off with the nerfing and buffing. This needs to be done more regularly. Bungie needs to keep up to date with all of these things. They need to look into nerfs and buffs on a regular basis, and they need to keep up to date. This is a problem. I don't think they are up to date with it enough. We have, as you can see, I'm using the miter like usual. Everyone else is using the miter. This is one of the big problems. The miter. This needs to be nerfed, and it needs to be nerfed ASAP. This is the problem, and they're not keeping up to date with it. How is this game 3 weeks in? Not even 3 weeks, and we've already got 4v4 miters pretty much on every single trials map and competitive maps, playlists and stuff. You're getting 4 miters as well. How is this happening already? This is absolutely ridiculous to not being able to keep up to date with the current metas and the current buffs and nerfs that need to happen. This is the first and the most significant thing they need to do, is keep up to date with nerfs and buffs. So the miter needs to be nerfed. The Warlock's healing rift needs to be nerfed for PvP. Pulse grenades need to be nerfed, and I think pulse rifles need to be buffed. I think hand cannons need to be buffed as well. And there's just a lot of stuff that needs to be nerfed and buffed. Let's get on to the second point. I can't go too much more on that. There's just a few things that really need to be nerfed and buffed, and I think Bungie just needs to stay up to date with the stuff that needs to be nerfed and buffed. They're just not doing a good job of keeping up to date and updating the PvP side of things. I think they're just trying to focus on one side of this game. It's just PvE. They're not really looking at the PvP side of things, which they can go down that direction. If they want an esports in the future and they want to improve it and want people to enjoy the PvP side, they need to keep up to date with it. Now the second thing, this is specifically for trials and like competitive playlists, but mostly it's for trials. I noticed this a lot. The heavy ammo drops. It needs to be changed. It needs to either be changed for you get less ammo for your heavy ammo drops, or you get it drops later on in the game. You have people with strategies just to sit and hide in corners and wait for the heavy ammo to drop, get rocket launchers, and just run around the map with a rocket launcher, just trying to smash people with a rocket launcher. And they're not doing anything else. They're not trying to shoot people. They are just literally trying to get heavy ammo and shooting people with it. I believe you should get less shells for rockets. See, this is my point right here. This guy's just going to run around with rockets and just shoot people with it, because he gets like 2 or 3 rockets or whatever he gets in there. This needs to be changed. The heavy ammo needs to be dropped later, and the heavy ammo for rockets needs to be less. I think you should only get 1 shell with rockets. And sniper, you can get like more bullets, and fusion rifles you can get more bullets, but rockets need to get less ammo. And this goes for swords as well. Swords, it's fine. I can deal with swords a little bit, but people using blinking swords, that's a tactic. I can deal with that. But the rocket launcher, heavy ammo aspect side of things, that needs to be changed. The timer needs to go back, so they need to drop heavy later. Or all they really need to do is just limit the amount of ammo you give the person in heavy. You need to give less rockets. That's what I believe is needed to fix the heavy ammo issue. I would like to see the meta issue solved first. That's my priority. I think that needs to be nerfed ASAP. I'm sick of playing with 4 miters. I really want to play with other guns. I honestly just want to enjoy the game, play with other guns, but everyone just uses the miter every single game. But let's get on to the next point, matchmaking. Now this is probably the second most important improvement they could make to this game is matchmaking. Now, matchmaking, this is for casual players, this is for the quick play, this is for competitive, this is for trials as well. There's a few different aspects of matchmaking they need to fix, but matchmaking's needed to be fixed for a long time. It's still not right, and this guided game stuff I think is shit. I honestly don't think it's gonna work that well. I don't think it's gonna work at all. I think it's going to be a failure, this guided game things. I think they just need to introduce matchmaking. They need to use consistent matchmaking so people, casual players, don't get matched up against full 4-man parties or full teams or full clans. Solo players should be matched up against solo players or players in 1 or 2 in the party, and parties of 3 or 4 or more, or clans of 3 or 4 or more, should be matched up against each other. That needs to be done. You can't be a solo player going into play casual PvP and you just want to try out PvP and you're going against a full man party, like a 4-man party, a 3-man party, a full clan, and all they're doing is sitting in corners and team shotting. Like, it just doesn't seem fair to casual players. How are you going to encourage people to play PvP? See, this is another thing as well, leaving and all that. I'll get to that in a later point, with about rule sets and stuff. But this is a good example. This video right here is a 3v4 at this moment. There could be a 4-man party, I'm not sure, but matchmaking needs to be changed. So solos don't match up with parties, and solos need to match up with solos, parties need to match up with parties. I think that's how it needs to be done. I don't know how they should do it, but I really just think they should match up. Solos go against parties of 1 or 2 people or just other solos, and parties of 3 or 4 match up with each other. That's how I think it should be done. I think that would improve it a lot. It's just not enjoyable for solo players to go into a PvP game and just play against a 4-man party that's just team shotting you and sitting in the same point in the map. That's just not fun. It's not enjoyable. I do not want to play that kind of game. I know other people don't as well. The next improvement I think should be implemented into PvP Crucible is probations for leaving. I think this shouldn't be for quick play, it shouldn't be just for the regular playlist, but for the competitive playlist and for the trials, especially trials, you need to bring in probations. Like they had in League Play in Black Ops 2 and Call of Duty, they need to bring in probations. So if you leave a game, or you leave your 4-man party, or whatever else, you get a probation. You get a 5-minute probation, 10-minute probation, whatever it is. You need to get a probation for leaving. It needs to be disciplines for leaving games, for not finishing games, all that kind of stuff. That needs to happen. And you need to have incentives, bigger incentives, for playing PvP, for going on streaks, for going that kind of stuff. I know you have Cools the Arm challenges and stuff, but what about the casual PvP players that don't do that kind of stuff? They need to have more incentives, more likelihood of better drops. If you go on a win streak, you get better drops, or something that just stacks, that makes it more better, and you get better prizes, get better gear, or whatever else from playing more PvP. I think then this needs to be more incentives and more probation. So there needs to be so in this instance here, where our 4th player left very early, which pretty much gave us no chance of winning this game, I think probations need to be implemented for this kind of thing in the competitive playlist and the Trials of 9 playlist. If you leave, you get a 5-minute probation and you can't go into another Crucible competitive or trials match until you have served out your 5-minute probation. See, I've just got a rare gear there for I've played like 5 or 6 games in a row, and I'm pretty much getting nothing. I'm pretty much just getting rare gear, and you get no. I think if you play a fair bit, I think it should stack up, and you're more likely to get better gear the more you play Crucible. It's more incentive for people to play. And my last point about improving Crucible, this is specifically for the esports scene, like the Trials of 9. This is just to fix the rule set. This goes into probation as well, but fix the rule set, like timers on bombs in the search and rescue type one, whatever it's called, countdown playlist. I think there needs to be a timer on the bomb when you plant it, so the team knows how much time they need to waste, or how much time you have to defend the bomb, how much time you have to defuse the bomb. There needs to be a timer up on the top on the HUD that explains how much time you have left on the clock, how much time is left on the bomb. This needs to be implemented if there's going to be an esports scene. Bomb sites, I think, need to be relocated and adjusted a little bit for each map. I think maps need to be picked just for trials as well, and just for the esports scene. I don't think every map can be used for those game modes, for countdown and survival. There's only certain maps that should be used. This needs to be figured out. The maps need to be figured out, and then bomb sites need to be figured out. I think there should only be like a 3-4 map rotation for the Trials of 9 esports, the competitive scene. I think that should only be a few maps and a few designated bomb sites. So they should just need to fix that. Some small fixes of the rule sets and everything will go a long way to improving PvP and Crucible, especially the esports and Trials of 9 scene of Crucible. But that's going to do it for my video today, guys. I hope you did enjoy. That is all the improvements I would make to fix PvP in Crucible. I think it needs to be fixed. It is still broken. It is a slight improvement from the first Destiny, but I just think they just need to be on it more, and they could fix it, and it could easily be fixed with just a few changes, but they just don't seem to care too much. Honestly, that's my opinion. I just don't think Bungie care. But that's going to do it for my video today, guys. Hope you did enjoy. Leave any more feedback and opinions, anything in the comment section below. If you agree with me, if you don't, put it in the comment section. And as always, help my channel grow. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next video.